We were looking for an idea, sort of a big idea that we thought the class could really get behind. And I think it was Rob Adams who kind of came up with the idea, or he put out a Bhutto program as an example of a possible thing that would be a class act, or really just sort of a hypothetical. And we all looked at his hypothetical and said, wow, that's it. We definitely believed in many of the core principles that she was trying to promote. We recognized that there had been some issues in her administrations with bribes and corruption, but we felt that on the one hand, her connection to the class, and on the other hand, the values that she espoused were important things that we could get behind. And so out of Rob's hypothetical suggestion came the Bhutto program.
It's been an extraordinary journey because we needed to find classmates who were interested in it, and we needed to find classmates with expertise and understanding both about the Muslim world and about leadership. And we were very fortunate in that Peter Galbraith had been an advisor of Benazir's, and so he was able to help us. We found that we needed a steering committee from the class, and we created that, and they have a broad swath of different kinds of expertise. But we also understood that from the beginning that we needed to connect deeply with Harvard, because we were going to try to create relationship and use the expertise at Harvard for the training part of this. And so we connected with the Kennedy School and ultimately with the Mason program, which is a mid-career international training program. And through conversations with Bob Bowie, who is a classmate of ours, whose father was one of the founders of the Weatherhead Center at Harvard. We were able to connect with Ted Gilman, who is the head of the Weatherhead Center, and that led to our being able to put on a program there to have a one-day symposium that brought people from around the world to talk about issues in the Muslim world and leadership. And we connected with Jacqueline Baba, who is a human rights professor and women's advocate, who was the moderator for that day. And we also have, through Holly Weeks, who is a classmate who teaches at the Kennedy School, connected with people who are in programs at the Kennedy School and at other parts of the university who are interested in our program and who want to support it. And so they have become a group who are advocating for us and who are expanding the group of leaders who will become the network to support one another as they do work to create better situations in their countries.
I'm excited about the Benazir Bhutto Leadership Program and the idea that we are going to create a network of individuals around the world in predominantly Muslim countries. They're going to really benefit from expertise that we have as a class and as classmates, and educational things that they're going to be learning at the Kennedy School and other initiatives. In a very, very troubled time, this excites me, that we may be able to make a difference in the future of democracy around the world and in the future of women's rights around the world.
I teach leadership, I teach ethics. The Benazir Bhutto program focuses on both. This is about Benazir Bhutto as a leader, Benazir Bhutto as someone who has a set of principles, who did everything she could to govern in line with those principles.
That she was a woman, that she was a classmate of ours at the time when Radcliffe was still a much smaller part of Harvard, when there was a certain cohesiveness to being women together before co-educational living and so on. The emphasis on work that supports women, working with other women in our class has been enormously gratifying. But at the same time, watching our male classmates not question it, not just jump on and say, yes, let's figure out how to do this, has been very rewarding as well.
It's been particularly rewarding to see how that topic has resonated with a number of people, just in terms of building positive bridges with people who are in predominantly Muslim communities, to really embrace the principles that Benazir Bhutto articulated, and in terms of educational access and the advancement of democracy, and improving the role of women, and helping to resolve religious conflict. So the Bhutto Leadership Program, it's really about how to advance those principles.
With a lot of hard work from Marion and Jonathan and others, we've made a lot of progress. We are ready to have our first Bhutto Fellow, who will be in a one-year mid-career program at the Kennedy School. We've developed a network among other students from the Muslim world who are at the Kennedy School now or who were there last year, with the goal of ultimately building a network of people out in the Muslim world who have a good education and shared values and are able to help each other push forward these goals. And that's all very exciting, that we've done a lot from scratch.
We're really making this up as we go along. That said, we've accomplished this fellowship at the Kennedy School with the Mason program in honor, and in honor of Benazir Bhutto. That is a colossal accomplishment. And we got Harvard to agree to looking for students who fulfill certain qualities that Benazir represented and principles that she tried to accomplish or follow. That by itself is a huge accomplishment, and I feel very good about the direction that we're going with that program, which is a lot more than just the fellowship.